One of the things that really drives me crazy about the creative process is brainstorming. Oh my goodness, I want to kill brainstorming. I hate it. It's so ineffective because brainstorming is so stupid. What happens is in a company or an organization or a group, someone says, "Oh, we need everybody's ideas. Come to the meeting room. There'll be free donuts." And you get loads of people who just turn up for the coffee and the donuts. And they pull out a big sheet of paper and they say, "Write down all your ideas. No idea is a bad idea." Don't be stupid. There are thousands of ideas that are a bad idea. This is rubbish. And then you've got everybody writing down how they're going to solve whatever problem. And everyone feels like they've got to write down something, even if it's a load of rubbish, because, they've eaten the donut. They've got to pay for it somehow with their creativity. And at the end, you may get a big, beautiful kind of spider's web diagram of lots of different random words and arrows, but it doesn't mean anything. All you've got is a literal people's brains spewed out onto a sheet of paper. What are you going to do with that? It's awful. It's really awful. No one can remember whose ideas belong to who. No one can expand on the ideas because it's just some little drawings, or maybe if you're really lucky, someone put some post-it notes on there and then they all fall off at the end. Disaster. I hate brainstorming. I've never seen a good idea, a strong idea, come out of a brainstorm, but I have seen a whole ton of mush. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, Adam, if we don't do a brainstorm, what are we supposed to do? Well, there's a variation on the brainstorm, which has been proven in scientific studies to be way more effective at actually generating ideas. And it's called a rotating brainstorm. How this works is it combines some of the best things from a brainstorm, but also the best things about individual ideas and individual work. How you do it is quite simple. Everybody in the room sits around a table, and maybe you're going to do this with 5 to 10 people, something like that. And you give everybody a big blank sheet of A3 sized paper, something large enough to get a lot of ideas on, and everyone has a pen. And whoever is the moderator of the session will start with a question. How do we solve this kind of problem? How do we do this kind of thing? What are we looking for in this area? What ideas have you got? And you start a timer, and let's say you give everybody about 10 minutes. And on that sheet of paper, they write down as many ideas as they can think of, anything that comes to mind, making sure that they leave lots of space between the ideas. They can write it however they want. Then after the 10 minutes are up, you take your sheet of paper and you pass it to the person on your left. And you take the sheet of paper from the person on your right. So now you've got a sheet of paper with somebody else's random ideas on. And we start the clock again, 10 more minutes, and this time you look at everything that somebody else has written, and maybe it inspires some new ideas. Maybe you want to build on those ideas. So anything that comes into your head, you write down again on that piece of paper. When the 10 minutes up, the sheets of paper move to the person to your left again. You take the next one, and now you're looking at a sheet of paper with 2 people's ideas on, and the next time 3 people's, 4 people's, 5 people's. And you realize that after about an hour, you start to see common themes going around all of the sheets of paper, and anything that becomes common means that more than one person is thinking about it, and you can start to see trends, and you can start to see more ideas that are built on. And what this does is this is wonderful when you're working in a group, because ideas are such personal things that often there's this temptation to feel like if your idea is chosen, you're the king of the idea. But if your idea is rejected, you can say, well, his idea might be the one that got picked, but if it fails, it's all his fault because my idea was better and they just rejected it. So this can be a big problem. But by rotating the ideas, it's sort of like a game of poker, It's sort of like, well, I see your idea and I raise you my extension to that idea. And then you hope that that extension to the idea inspires the next person, and so on and so on. So it ends up with ideas that you didn't come up with yourself personally, but it's the work of 3 or 4 or 5 people in that chain. And this allows groups to build ownership of that idea. So many times I see groups ruined by whose idea gets picked and whose idea doesn't get picked. This is a great way to show that everybody's on board. It also means that if you see really bad ideas, they get filtered out because people are able to be inspired by the bad ideas and to build on them and maybe rescue some of the ideas that maybe might not work and turn them into something that could. So the next time you're thinking about having a creative session or solving a problem, please try a rotating brainstorm. Maybe it's something that you want to try at your next idea party or coffee meeting or Friday beers or something like that. Please do give it a try and let me know how it goes. Why not take some photographs of your rotating brainstorm sessions and leave them in the comments? I'd love to see what you do. So that's the better way to brainstorm.